Good morning. I'm Marge, a Unity in Lynnwood prayer chaplain, and welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this time of silent meditation. Whether you're part of our virtual online community or are here in our chancel, we share our gratitude for the opportunity to enter this sacred time together. So, in this quietness, set aside the busyness of the morning, let go of responsibilities, let go of obligations, let go of fretting about situations and relationships, and just settle comfortably into your chair or wherever you're seated, and let your eyes gently close. Take a slow, deep breath and let it out as a sigh. And take another deep breath and let it go to your heart. Feel the presence of Spirit as you go inward. Let go into this presence as you enter this time of silent meditation. Gently bring yourselves back into this physical space. Let your eyes open slowly. Breathe deeply. As you return to the outer world, embrace the knowing that you are surrounded and enfolded in divine love. And knowing that divine love is your birthright and is always available in the outer world. Please join me as we bless Dr. Richard and Matthew and the richness they bring to this service and the other musicians, and we bless the many people who contribute to the creation of this time together. And we carry that blessing to ourselves, whether here in our chancel or in our virtual congregation. And so it is.
spent my whole life searching for a shelter for my soul, an understanding of the greater plan. In these walls I've seen the light of love pure and divine, helps me remember who I really am. In every face it's clear, we're all God's children here, and it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home. It's a place to share your burden. It's safe to shed a tear, say a prayer and raise your voice in song, where every heart is honored and every path is true. No one's here to judge you right or wrong, and there's no shame, no sin in this place where love begins. And it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home.
As we gather this morning for a few moments of personal restoration, let's prepare ourselves, body, mind, and spirit, for this Sunday's uplift. Shifting from clock time to divine time, we breathe, relax, and open. Our bodies sink a little right where they are. It's an awe sensation. We are grateful this morning for the opportunity to remember our connectedness. The very source of all creation moves through each of us in every single moment. This motion carries us along through every breath and every heartbeat, most often unnoticed by us. In this, we are simply passive recipients of a life-sustaining gift. It feels right now and then to stop in awe. But we are not simply passive receivers. We each carry the divine spark that brings agency. Let's be reminded that as particles of creation, we are creativity. We can direct our personal and collective energies to benefit ourselves, others, and a greater whole. So today's prayer is one of thanksgiving and celebration for the power of any and all acts of generosity, for this place of learning, growth, and service, and for the love and the joy that erupt naturally when we help each other, either through individual effort or through focused collective action. And so it is.
It feels like home. It feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home. It feels like home. A family that I can call my own. It feels like home. It feels like home. I finally Good morning, Unity in Lynnwood. It's picnic day, yay! I'd like to introduce, we've got these amazing guest band members today. And you know, when you step into our band, you have to learn songs really fast. We have like 45 minutes to rehearse, and they were amazing. This is Jeff Gall on drums and David Dawda on bass. Thank you so much. If you will stand as you are able and greet one another and learn a new name while you're at it.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. All right.
Oh, hello, hello, hello. Good morning to all of you. My name is Linda Babin, and I'll be the welcome host for you this morning. I'm so happy that you decided to share your Sunday morning with us today. Our welcome certainly includes everyone here, and even those who are here but could not join us physically, who are in a different location. We're all part of this gathering today. Well, Restoration Weekend, I hope you do take a few moments to be restoring yourself today if you were expending a lot of energy yesterday, when you a little more than usual. For those of you who live close by, we had quite a work party yesterday where we did our one-day home makeover, and I think we'll have a picture of that project in a minute. So there may be a few sore muscles out there. I think everybody's doing pretty well, though. That's what I've heard so far. I know this, but I also forget it year to year, just how much fun it is and how much joy gets generated when we're working together, even if we're really doing hard. There was some hard work going on yesterday, and a lot of joy and a lot of fun. So it was a true experience of the power of community. We're pleased to have your company today, whether you're a long-time member of Unity in Lynnwood or brand new to Unity. Unity's philosophy is a very positive approach to living. It holds a basic belief in the goodness of every person. Each person is honored as a divine part of a whole. We're encouraged to embrace ourselves as creative beings. This uplifting, empowering message applies to everyone. No one is excluded at Unity in Lynnwood, and everyone is welcome. This is true no matter a person's religious background or lack of religious background. We don't exclude based on the so many ways humans are being divided: sexual orientation, sexual identity, race, politics, etc. We welcome and honor diversity, and we see our community as stronger because of our differences. We learn from each other here. Your unique experiences contribute to what you have to bring, and we welcome that. We welcome you. So today, as you're catching wind of this, rather than going across the hall after service for coffee and refreshments, we're having a community picnic. And you'll hear more about that from Dr. Richard in just a moment. I hope to see many of you there.
The stars in search of the answers. Look for God and life on distant planets. Have your faith in the ever after, while each of us holds inside the map to the labyrinth. And heaven's here on earth. The spirit, the collective conscience. We create the pain and the suffering and the beauty in this world. Heaven's here on earth. In our faith in humankind, in our respect for what is earthly, in our unfaltering belief in peace and love, understanding. I've seen and met angels wearing the disguise of ordinary people leading ordinary lives, filled with love, compassion, forgiveness, and sacrifice. Heaven's in our hearts, in our faith in humankind, in our respect for what is earthly, in our unfaltering belief in peace and love and understanding. Is at hand, the promised land is at your feet. We can and will become what we aspire to be. If heaven's here on earth, if we have faith in humankind and respect for what is earthly, and an unfaltering belief that truth is divinity. Heaven's here on earth. All I think I know, but I believe this could be heaven. We are born inside the gates with the power to create life and to take it away. The world is our temple, the world is our church. Heaven's here on earth. And if we have
faith in humankind and respect for what is earthly, and an unfaltering belief in peace and love and understanding. This could be heaven here on earth. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't dress up for you. Thank you. Unity in Lynnwood, thank you for being here. I love being with you. To you, I simply say thank you. Thank you for yet again for the privilege of basking in the immense, noble depths of you. I begin with words of gratitude. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Yes, it is true. Yesterday, members from Unity in Lynnwood descended upon a home in the area to do a one-day home makeover. We have the group picture from yesterday. Would you appreciate these noble souls yet again? Next week, please rejoin us for before and after pictures, and then stand by for the release of the 2023 video in upcoming weeks. Special thanks to the amazing leadership team who envision and facilitate this noble event in our greater community. If you are a member of our virtual sanctuary today, please identify yourself with a first name. Disclose a geography. Allow your social media host to welcome you today. Allow us to gather your names that we may indeed have someone deliver hamburgers. Now that's not entirely true, is it? But even now, oh my goodness, William and Karen and Pascaline from Nairobi and Dale, Judy, Dallery, Ursula, Tammy, too many names to list. We welcome you today. Members of the physical sanctuary, if you are willing to join me in welcoming the members of our virtual sanctuary, turn toward this camera. Generously facilitated by our own Walayn Sharples, and speak the following words. We see you today. We welcome you today. We know a high and noble truth of you. In all ways, we see you. And so it is. Today is the annual picnic. I will explain more of that toward the end of the service. Thank you for flexibility with our newly emerging shuttle system with a reconfigured parking lot. Thank you for demonstrating grace and kindness on a day of immense celebration. Visioning, the second of the Revealing Our Why experiences, has been scheduled as a Zoom event that all might participate equally. If you participated in the first, please participate in the second. If you didn't, please join us. The request is this: write the office or visit social media, complete the 2 surveys, watch the Simon Sinek introductory video, and then join us on Zoom. The date is August 22, 6:30 p.m. By registering on the calendar page, you will automatically receive a link. Check your junk mail folder, please. And if you don't receive the link, please contact the office. Grandparents' Day 2023. That is a Sunday. It is September 10th. You are invited. If you are one who is aged 60 or wiser, if you are aged 60 or wiser, consider writing me for details. Gender is of no consequence. I am partnering with our resident photographer, Shelley Oberman, in the creation of a fashion show scheduled for that Sunday morning. It is framed as a challenge to our aging stereotypes. You may absolutely applaud that. You may absolutely applaud that. The Western world does not always have an affirming message for those aged 60 or wiser. We seek to offer an alternative. So, join us that Sunday. You'll be asked to arrive at 9:30. You will go through coaching on how to walk, how to turn. You'll be given counsel on the choice of wardrobe, on how to do any makeup that you might choose to do. But the first step is simply to contact me for details. Thank you for considering that. I think it's an important gift that Unity is well poised to offer. If you would like to pray with someone following the conclusion of our conversation this morning, too many people are just looking at my legs today. I'm just going to tell you the truth. If you would like to pray with someone following the conclusion of our time together, a chaplain will happily meet you in this general geography today that you might anticipate a face. May I ask those chaplains in service to you today to either stand or raise a hand, please? Wonderful, wonderful. And if you're a member of our virtual sanctuary and you desire to pray with someone today, start the process by writing prayer at unityinlynnwood.org. Include a working telephone number and expect a call within a couple hours. Practical spirituality, welcoming community. It is the what we do. It's the what we do, and I would suggest that we do it quite well. The what we do. And the process into which you have been invited is the why we do it. The why we do it. Why do we do practical spirituality and welcoming community? But for today, what we do, practical spirituality, welcoming community, I'd like to offer one of the 6 supporting statements that we developed in 2014 with each other and with your board of trustees. Today I offer the 6th of 6, and it reads as follows. I'm quite proud to say that we welcome people. We welcome people from all spiritual traditions or from no spiritual tradition whatsoever into every activity of our community. Proud is the word I use. Proud. We welcome people. Take the words of invocation in the manner best suited to you. You are welcome to close your eyes, to read robustly, to whisper. As together we consider, though imaged and named variously, there is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call this ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gather today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. If you are new, and we have many new faces, welcome. If you are new or newer, welcome. We are honored by your presence. We are glad you are here. You find us in the middle of a series on the teaching parables of Jesus. Now, I I say this because you just as well could have found us in the middle of a teaching series on the Upanishads or the Bhagavad Gita or the Quran or the 12 steps, the 5 love languages. You know who you are. For we tend to hold that there are truths and beauties available on all authentic spiritual paths, and that all authentic spiritual paths in their highest moments point to a common destination in consciousness, a destination at which such divisions cease to be relevant at all. In this paradigm, you will find that we are somewhat unique in our radical welcome of people from all spiritual traditions and from no spiritual tradition whatsoever. Now, it's important to note that Jesus, as a Jew living in his era and in his geography, would not have been as fascinated with some afterlife destination as the early church has led us to believe. And I say this because when we think Jesus was trying to help people navigate what happens after physical death, well, we hear one thing, of course. But as we come to understand that he was trying to help people live well now, that he was ever articulating his vision for a transformed human experience, we hear something very different. I might say that if you aren't wearing the right ears, you aren't hearing the right teaching. So in today's parable, now it's found in 3 of the 4 accounts which were edited into that library, which you call your Judeo-Christian Bible. In this parable, the guy went out and he planted some seed. And Jesus describes the 4 ways in which that seed fell. Now again, he was a teacher of consciousness. Jesus was not a teacher of farming. This means that we really should be able to discover ourselves in any of his teachings. Now, this guy went out to plant some seeds. Some fell, of course, on hard soil. Some fell on what he called rocky soil. Some fell among thorny soil, and at last some fell on fertile soil. Now, individually, I imagine we can find ourselves in this parable pretty easily. Let's say I desire to plant the seed, maybe a suggestion, if you will, of greater worth. So I read the latest self-help book, and I launch a new meditation practice, and I paste today's affirmation on my bathroom mirror, and I tune into the O network. I just know that Deepak and Wayne should be able to help me today. Maybe a Yanla really can fix my life after all. And I imagine that some of it lands on this hard soil. In other words, I imagine that some of it lands on beliefs or perceptions, limitations so deeply ingrained that it's as if the suggestion blows away. I see this in prayer work. There are souls, none in this room, of course, But there are souls who deeply long for a new experience, for a new effect, even as they refuse to welcome a new consciousness or a new cause. I want more prosperity, even as I cling to my lack. I want more creative self-expression, even as I cling to my comfort. I want more love. I want more love, even as I cling to my fear. Its battle cry goes something like this: I want change as long as nothing changes. Prayer has become something of a magical get-out-of-jail-free card played to counter the lowest impulses within us, when it really should be used as a psychological discipline to empower the highest that's within us. Prayer has been used to save us when it should be used to guide us. It's used to stop war, for example, when its better use would be to cultivate a people of peace. Prayer is used to heal disease when it really should be used to cultivate a people of greater balance. Used to get stuff when it should be used to cultivate a people of understanding. And I imagine some of it lands on rocky soil. Now, sure, the suggestion might go in for a time, but the old beliefs, perceptions, those limitations, they return quickly enough. In the parable, the seedlings were said to have withered in the hot sun because their roots were immature. Their roots were incomplete. Now, some of you might know that unity has its roots in spiritual healing, in mental healing. And these cases of healing, they were not occasional. They were not vague or fantastical, nor were they unique to unity, by the way. The early practitioners employed practices which sometimes resulted in lasting changes among hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of individuals, well-documented changes. And other times, not so much. Not so much. Sometimes a change was not lasting. Now, it seems to me that for whatever benefits might have been experienced in the moment, maybe the recipient just wasn't quite ready or willing to sustain them. Rocky soil, hot sun. And I imagine some of it lands on thorny soil. I like to think the rabbi was teaching about interpersonal relationships with this one. That might be a bit of a stretch. I mean, if you have ever attempted to make a meaningful change, it's as if the humans who have surrounded you, the humans who have supported you in your current state for so long, become, well, thorns that would strangle the seedling of your emerging self. Do not show me hands, please. What is it about the human that is so easily threatened by any change from a member of the herd? I don't know. Even the family of Jesus himself basically said, Jesus, you kind of crazy. You kind of crazy. Give up these lofty ideas, you, and get back to work. They basically said that. We all know the example of the crab. The example of the crab in the open bucket, right? No lid is needed because anytime the single crab begins to climb beyond the perimeter of the bucket, the others, well, they just grab right onto the feet and pull them back down. thorny soil. And of course, I can imagine that some of it lands on fertile soil. I have told you before, I remember hearing for the first time, I remember when I heard for the first time that I may have had some musical talent. I was in college. I had already won bunches of stuff. I had received bunches of acknowledgments when a young colleague with absolutely nothing to gain affirmed my talent while walking through a practice room hallway. It was as simple as that. Now, I say I remember hearing for the first time to make it clear that it probably wasn't the first time I had been told, but it was the first time I was able to hear it. Maybe it can be said that I was ready. And I began to live from the possibility that I might have had some talent. That I had something to say, musically speaking, that whatever opportunities meandered into my world were there by right of consciousness instead of there by dumb luck or good fortune. Fertile soil, you see. Readiness. So individually, I imagine each one of us can find ourselves in this parable. Is there an emerging you? Is there an emerging you which seems to be beyond your willingness to entertain? Does it make you uncomfortable? Does that emerging you encounter resistance? And if you do entertain it, are you ready to cultivate it beyond the honeymoon? And then are you ready to navigate your tribe? Are you ready to navigate your tribe? Can they support this emerging you? And are you willing to do whatever it takes to give that emerging you the fertile soil in consciousness which it needs to establish a mature root? We might say to endure the hot sun of its newness, to begin to flower. So yes, individually, I would say that it is pretty easy for us to find ourselves in this parable. And yet it's collectively that I would challenge us to find ourselves on this particular morning, because such teaching stories will inevitably speak to both the within and the without simultaneously. Each week, I have to tell you, I teach the sacredness of life in every form, human or not. And then I watch violence in our world. Every week, I teach that there's a natural order to things, a natural order that is sufficient to the needs of every soul, even as it is sufficient to the functioning of galaxies. And then I watch the greed. Every week, I teach the unlimited nature of soul, the limitless human capacity for co-creation, the endless expanse of human possibility for expression. And then I watch the destructive ways of some. Every week I teach the oneness of Creator, by whatever name you choose to call it, that there is indeed one life, one beingness, there is one isness that is ever expressing itself in the multiplicities of time and space. Every week I teach that though imaged and named variously, there truly is one ground of all being. And then I watch the vehicles of separation at work in our world. Every week I might say that I plant seeds again and again and again. I plant seeds. And maybe you too, if you have been drawn into a conversation such as this, whether in our physical sanctuary or in our virtual sanctuary, maybe you too are planting seeds of sanctity and sufficiency and possibility and unity among creation. Now, while it is tempting to read such a parable and to say, oh, I see, we are to plant seeds where they can take root. That's a good conclusion. We're to plant seeds among like-minded people. We're to plant seeds where it's easy. We are to plant seeds with great discrimination. While it's tempting to read such a parable and to say that, I do not take any comfort from that interpretation. In fact, the parable does not say that our farmer, that our guy, did any of those things. The parable says that our guy planted. He planted. And it's in this that I derive my comfort on this day. For the parable says that our guy planted on hard soil. Maybe the seed would root, maybe it wouldn't, but he planted anyway. The parable says that our guy planted on rocky soil, on thorny soil. Maybe our seed would take root, maybe it wouldn't, but he planted anyway. The parable says that our guy planted on fertile soil. Maybe the seed would root, maybe it wouldn't. What did he do? He planted anyway. So maybe the teacher was telling us about the world, whether within or without. Maybe the teacher was telling us that in the world there is hard soil, and there is rocky soil, and there is thorny soil, and there is fertile soil, and that our job is to plant anyway. Now, I offer this to you in hopes that it might bring you some comfort, that in any moment you might wonder, what can I do? What can I do? Or could I possibly make a difference that you will remember to plant anyway? Right where you are, plant something that says life is a gift. Plant something that says life can be trusted to care for all of us. Right where you are, plant something that says you are amazing. You're amazing. Plant something that says you are amazing. You are a limitless possibility in our world. You don't have to do it, but if you are feeling courageous this morning, allow your eye to meander towards something and simply offer the word, you are a limitless possibility in our world together. You are a limitless possibility in our world. And if you're still feeling courageous, maybe your eye casts itself upon another as you say again, you are a limitless possibility in our world. And right where you are, plant something that says we are one. Even though we look different, I can hear you say, yes, we say we are one. Even though we worship differently, we are one. Even though we love differently, yes, we are one. But the world, it speaks to us of our separation in an endless array of fearful rhetoric. We respond by saying, we are one. We are one. We are one. So I offer this to you in hopes that in any moment that voice might arise to say, what could I possibly do? Or could I possibly make any difference? You will remember to plant anyway, right where you are, right where we are. Plant anyway. Take a deep breath. Let us close the outer eyes simply to allow such a possibility a moment to have its way with us, to have its way with me. The world is the world. Rocky soil and thorny soil. The world is the world. What would the very highest that's within me bring to bear on such a world if I were to accept the charge to plant anyway? Let's give this question just a moment. We need neither accept nor reject, but observe. How might it look to plant anyway? We need not argue or engineer, coerce, force, push, make it happen. We simply ask, how might it look to plant anyway? And we take another deep breath together. We draw our attention from that expansive inner realm back to this physical space, back to this now moment. And if you're like me, there's something of a gratitude at the very heart of you. There's something of a gratitude at the very heart of you. As we begin to reopen those sensory eyes, we do not abandon this awakened gratitude, but we bring it forth. We allow it to reflect through our eyes with each other. And in any willingness to do so, we simply say together, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
Thank you, Dr. Richard. I was also thinking thank you to our wonderful AV crew as I was watching some of the beautiful visuals that go along often with worthwhile words. Each week at Unity in Lynnwood, we offer opportunities to practice giving and receiving so that we might better cooperate with the reciprocal nature of the spiritual universe. While our giving matters to Unity in Lynnwood, our giving matters to us too. As we align with that universal flow, we know this natural law applies beyond the realm of financial giving. We think of prosperity very broadly here. Eric Butterworth, a well-known Unity minister, wrote these words: "Giving does not refer simply to money. It may involve money, but giving is basically an attitude with which you touch the world." So as we prepare to offer our financial gifts now, perhaps we can also identify a place or two in our own lives where simply offering our generosity of spirit might make a real difference. Electronic giving options will appear on the screen for your financial giving. For those choosing to give a physical gift, the ushers will pass a basket here shortly. If you would like information about Unity in Lynnwood's programs of regular giving, planned giving, or legacy giving, please take a Giver's Circle brochure from the back corner or write Dr. Richard directly. For those already participating in planned giving, we extend a special thanks. And please join me in our affirmation of giving as it appears on the screen. I give freely and fearlessly, fulfilling the law of giving and receiving.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
And it certainly is with deep gratitude that all of your gifts are received. Thank you. I want to just do a call out in case there are new people here who have not been here with us before. We ask you to raise your hand so that we can just acknowledge your presence for a quick moment. Oh, thank you. Right in the chair in front of all of us are a few cards that look like this, and they help orient us all. There is a newcomer's information card there and a stay in touch card in case anyone is new and or has not already completed a stay in touch card. That just means you'd get an email or two a month. And there's a prayer request card. I might remind everyone, if you have a prayer request that you would like to go to our chaplains, please complete that prayer request, and it's too late to slip it in the usher's basket, which is one thing you can do. You could also put it in the desk, on the desk in the office right outside our door, or bring it back to the welcome and information. And there's a box. Thank you, Dana. Right to the right of the door as you leave the room. There's a box for prayer requests. I also want to just point out the welcome and information station in that back corner. We have a lot of information there about Unity in general, about what's going on here, quite a few informational brochures that have a lot of information in them. So stop by, take a look. You're welcome to whatever you find back there. Also, if you go around the corner to our Soul Things bookshop and gift store right inside the front door. You can get a copy of the Daily Word, a complimentary copy. This is a simple little inspirational message that many of us enjoy starting our day with. I have a few invitations for us. There's a lot happening at Unity in Lynnwood. Somebody commented on that this morning. And a reminder, please register for everything that you can attend, interested in attending at www.unityinlynnwood.org, our website. I want to let you know that today's flowers are dedicated by Sally West in memory of her mother, Betty Bowen West, whose presence she often feels when she's in this space. Thank you, Sally. If you would like to make a flower dedication, you may do so in the Soul Things gift shop for a suggested offering of $25. Another party opportunity, indoor sprucing up party this week on Friday and Saturday, August 11th and 12th. Please join us as we prepare our beautiful building for the autumn and winter seasons. I understand there's already been a little mopping going on this weekend. There will be tasks available for all mobility and strength levels. The music will be fun and the food will be delicious. So please register with our thanks. Would you like to become a member of Unity in Lynnwood, or just to refresh your knowledge of basic history, Unity history and teachings? All are welcome to attend the Basics of Unity membership class, and there will be a few. They will start on Sunday, August 27th, and run through September 10th. It will happen at 12:30 p.m., so right after service. And the class is available both online and on site. This is a requirement for membership, and yes, online viewers are eligible for membership. So I have a please save the date opportunity, another party. On September 16th at 6 p.m., we will be celebrating Dr. Richard's 10th anniversary with us. So I warn you, it's a first come, first get a chair kind of deal here. So please hop online and register. Then return the next morning. That's a busy weekend. The next day, very well-known singer Daniel Namod will be here with us in the morning, and we'll be doing a concert in the afternoon. So lots of things to look forward to. So glad you're here today.
I love Linda's strategy about this, and I've learned something very valuable today. And that is by putting the word party after the thing, it changes it all, doesn't it? So we think all of a sudden about have a tax preparation party this year. Isn't that helpful? A carpet shampooing party for you. Thank you, Linda. You've helped me reframe that. I'd like to tell you how the next hour and a half will work. There are vegetarian burger options. There are humanely sourced beef burger options. We have far more beef than we have vegetarian. So my challenge to you, my request of you, is to please be clear. If you are a beef eater, please distinguish between the two. The same applies to gluten-free buns versus gluten-enriched buns. We have far more regular buns than we have gluten-free buns. If you are a gluten-sensitive person, please distinguish between the two. Or if you're a regular bun eater, please honor the gluten-sensitive people by discerning between the two. We will exit these doors. We will go through the next set of double doors. There in the kitchen area, you will find an array of food generously provided by you. You'll get your plate, your napkin, loaded up with the bun of your choice. Then you will exit the double doors at the end of the room, where you will find Matthew, who is already out there flipping vegetarian burgers and humanely sourced beef burgers. You will take the patty of your choice. If you want condiments, if you want lettuce, tomato, onion, if you want a piece of cheese, and who doesn't? Let's face it. You'll find that on the far end of the grills. So that is your traffic. And then you'll find ample seating in the parking lot, where you, too, may avail yourself to the joys of a bouncy house, as I have already done today. That's the way it will work. Now, here is the second part of this. At 1:30, after we have enjoyed each other's company with some good food for an hour or so, we will come back into this room where Michelle Van Eyck will acknowledge leaders and volunteer teams. Allow us the opportunity to thank you, and accept the invitation, please, to thank each other. Following that 1:30 acknowledgement of volunteers, you are invited to stay, where Suzanne and friends, and that's all I'm going to say about that for now, will happily lead all willing souls in a really fun time of sing-alongs and music. Your schedule, food, conversation, 1:30, sing, go home. That's the schedule. Are we clear? We understand how it will work. Now, your questions are already rising. I didn't register. It's okay. You are welcome. We have people who registered who are not with us today. We have space for you always. You are welcome to stay. Now, as something of an introduction to the picnic, as something of a grace is how it's been framed for me. For those who grew up in households where you would say grace before you had the family picnic. Anybody? Anybody? Okay. So there are 3 of us. Okay, that's fine. As something of a grace, we will now enjoy our beloved friends, Amanda and Rise, who will conclude our service for us today. Matthew and I look forward to seeing you in the parking lot.
Think you could raise this microphone a little bit, Dr. Richard? All right. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Yes. As we move into this beautiful, beautiful space of amazing grace. Blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fear